The Whispering Doll. The Thompsons had always dreamed of escaping the noise of the city. When they found a beautiful, yet strangely cheap old house deep in the forest, it felt like destiny. The house was massive, with creaking wooden floors, towering windows, and an eerie silence that hung in the air like a ghostly presence. From the first night, strange things began happening. Emma, the youngest daughter, woke up to whispers in the dark. At first, she thought it was the wind, but soon she could make out words, soft, childlike murmurs calling her name. Emma, come play. Her parents, David and Laura, dismissed it as a bad dream, but as the days passed, the disturbances grew worse. Laura would hear footsteps pacing above them at night, even though no one went upstairs. The doors would creak open by themselves, and objects would move to different places when no one was looking. One evening, as David was locking up for the night, he saw something in the reflection of the glass door, a shadow, tall and still, standing at the top of the staircase. When he turned around, nothing was there. The breaking point came when Emma let out a blood-curdling scream from her room. They rushed in to find her sobbing in the corner, pointing at her closet. She was standing there, Emma cried, the girl with no eyes. That was when David decided they needed help. The ghost hunter. The next day they called a paranormal investigator named Jack Carter, a man who had spent his life dealing with haunted places. Jack walked into the house with a calm yet focused expression. "This place has a presence," Jack muttered, running his fingers along the old wooden walls. His equipment beeped rapidly, detecting unnatural energy. Jack led the family through the house, stopping at the attic door. "Whatever is haunting this place," he said, "it's up there." The attic had been locked since they moved in. David retrieved the key, his hands trembling as he twisted it into the rusted lock. The door creaked open, revealing a dust-covered space filled with forgotten furniture and cobwebbed boxes. Then they saw it. Sitting in the center of the attic was an old porcelain doll. Its dress was tattered and covered in grime. Its once white face was cracked, and its black, lifeless eyes seemed to stare right through them. Jack stepped closer. His equipment went haywire, beeping violently. "This is it," he whispered. "This doll. It's possessed." Suddenly the attic grew freezing cold. The door slammed shut behind them, and the doll's head tilted, on its own. Then came the voice, a whisper, but this time it wasn't just Emma who heard it. "Stay with me, forever." The nightmare unleashed. The lights flickered. The air felt thick, suffocating. Then the doll moved. It didn't just fall. It shifted, crawling slightly toward them. Laura screamed. David grabbed Emma and pulled her back. Jack, though experienced, had never seen a case this intense. He pulled a vial of holy water from his bag and began chanting, sprinkling the water over the doll. The reaction was immediate. The house shook. The walls groaned as if they were alive. A blood-curdling shriek echoed through the attic, so loud that it pierced their ears. The doll's mouth opened, wider than humanly possible, releasing a shadowy figure that lunged toward them. Jack threw a handful of salt, and the figure recoiled, screeching as it was forced back into the doll. With one swift motion, Jack grabbed the doll and stuffed it into a bag covered in strange symbols. The house fell silent. The nightmare was over. The final goodbye. The next morning, Jack explained everything. The doll was a vessel, he said. A spirit was trapped inside, but it needed a body to take over. It was trying to possess Emma. Laura gasped, holding Emma close. Jack assured them he would take the doll far away, to be locked in a place where it could never harm anyone again. As he drove off with the doll in his trunk, the Thompsons packed their bags. They didn't care about losing money. They just wanted to leave. By sunset, the house was empty once again. Yet, deep in the forest, as Jack's car disappeared into the night, a whisper floated through the empty holes of the abandoned house. "Come back and play.